Greetings everyone, here's Lodrick again, and this is a game for the Pacific Admits Edition. This is my play by email match against KilRoy. This is scenario 1 on the new game version 27, and KilRoy have working American torpedoes at the start of the war. So I take short lens, undefended. My troops are now at Ceylon. Additional unloading of supplies and troops under fire. And some supplies for my troops against the Dutch on Timor. In this match I have more or less a... here's my AP going down. A more easy stand in India Ocean because I know that KilRoy have a oldest carrier in the Pacific. With the Jochen game there was some uncertainty. Okay, one of my cargo ships still go down. And I was very unlucky in the Jochen game because it was a super mini chance that he can intercept me, and he intercepted and bypassed my cover force. Later my cover force destroyed all of his ships, but my carrier was still defeated. In this game I hope this will not happen, because this is simply really a little too stupid. But this AP is also lost for sure. So I will lose here ships. It's not avoidable for me. Express is still alive and hunting here my submarines. But if I lose AKs and APs, I would say that is totally normal. Losing all your carriers is of course other story. Good, so I can see some ships in Madras and submarines. Sweeping, ground attacks. So these are now real ground attacks against the troops because there's no ships or other units. Not the best way to use your torpedo bombers, but Nell and Betty bombers are very flexible, can do more or less everything. Try to hit here the last Dutch units on Borneo. Good. So again a small more or less a British airstrike with heavy hurricane escorts. So KilRoy try to attack and I try to defend. And I was more or less able to destroy the incoming cover forces, but I also lost some zeros. Still this is a ground attacks because you can see, I don't know, this aircraft they all carry only 20-pound bombs. So there's no payload capacity to really attack ships. One more AK go down. Not more sure how many ships I lost this turn already. Maybe 2 APs and 1 AK or even more. These are the more dangerous aircraft, Blenheims. But still I was able to nearly completely wipe them out. And Fleck is doing the rest. So again, I lose also aircraft on my side, but the casualties for KilRoy are maybe high. This is my carrier force in standby, ready to intercept. But I don't find here anything, only some cruiser mine layer and some tankers in Madras. Okay, and cargo ships. At the end I can sink the cargo ship and the tanker, but the cruiser mine layer is able to avoid everything. Still more unloading, still heavy fire on one of my APs. So, private land combat, bombardment first. And now second or third battle of Darwin. I can take the fort. That is good. Then I inflict more casualties on the Australian side than I lose on my own. That's also fine. And it looks like the defender is also low on supply. I am not sure why, but maybe this is only one unit is out of supplies. Who knows? So hopefully next turn I can take Darwin.
Greetings everybody, how's tricks? This is Orphan Anne from Radio Tokyo, saying hello to all of her dog faces and boneheads wandering the Pacific Islands. Before we start the music, the Japanese High Command announced today that the ever-victorious forces of the Japanese Empire have captured Trincomalee.
So, the first base on Ceylon fall, and with this air base and more important also a dock or port. Okay, still Dutch forces resistant. This is now bombardment in Darwin. So this is what is left, roughly 180 attack value for the allies and 800 for me. So not bad. Of course I pay some price, but if I can take later Ceylon, this is worth it. I maybe have not the time to attack India more, but if I can take Ceylon, this is already a forward base the British must take back before they can try anything else. Good. So air losses today even a little in favor for me. I have here high losses on zeros, but also kill ratio with Hurricanes are nearly 1-1. KilRoy lose some Blenheims. The rest is so. And I have here 5 lost missing pilots because I don't control the hex. I think it's something like this. My carriers, I mean, I took the hex first after the combat, so I have my carriers. I don't know exactly how this was. But anyway, maybe this was long range cap. That can be. Maybe. Maybe I was on long range cap. Escort. Wait. Aircraft planes, only fighters, and maybe this one. Yeah, long range cap. Ah, yeah. So I make long range cap, and then I have killed and missing pilots over the hex because the base was under Allied control at the moment. There was an air battle, so maybe it's working like this. And then you have a low possibility to save your pilots. Anyway, but most important is I take the base. The base itself is also not really damaged, only super small damage, but this is still working. So the port is ready to operate. I could now unload more troops. I have not a lot of supplies, only these 2 divisions. They're a little tired, but still okay. But this means that I can more or less unload now all the rest of equipment I have here ready to go. Yeah. And I also see here not really much enemy equipment ready to strike back. Maybe in Colombo, but the Air Force out of Colombo was also not so strong. So my long range cap was able to more or less defeat the enemy incoming strikes. I have here now, yeah, this AP will also go down, also a good AP. So next turn one more ship is dead. Let's see, what was the ship losses now, last turn? So one big AP, similar to the one is burning down, and one good AK go down. And the British lost the tanker and the AK. Okay, nothing too special here. Good. But I would say this Ceylon operation was okay. In China, no big engagement. I'm driving now in my Mongolian army, direction Inner Mongolia. The other Japanese army also enter now Sichuan. Maybe sooner or later I can switch from bombardment to attack, but I want to first consume more Chinese supplies here. So I can block here the 2 big Chinese armies in Aichang and then Nanchang. I must take care of Wenzhou sooner or later. I see that more Chinese units are coming out of the mountains. But not a high priority for me. Burma is stable, also no big activity. I have to take normally here the last Dutch units in Sumatra off the map. Same here in Borneo. Timor, this unit still holding out, but there are really not more many left. And a little fatigue. In Darwin, maybe tomorrow I can take the base. I think the Australian forces are simply bleeding out, at least faster than my Japanese troops. New Caledonian, no activity so far. Barely enough supplies to hold. Basic base force equipment arrive here, aviation support, so it's getting better. And Marshall Islands, no allied activity. I get here high detection value, so there's no aircraft, no ships import, only ground forces. So this is why I switch more or less to ground attack now. I have here 1 air wing that is preparing. There's still a little fatigue, but they can normally bomb. And because it's only land attack, then I can do this. And the 2nd air wing going here for ground attack already. I only must keep an eye on fatigue and aircraft fatigue. Good. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.